Mombasa, where my colleague Junie Karisa is. Junie, if you can hear me, we understood earlier on that most polling stations had recorded low turnout. What's the position now?
Right. Good evening, Tom. We are coming to you live from Nyali constituency, where the whole most polling stations, there are 195 of them in this particular constituency, have just are just about concluding the process of counting the number of votes cast and bringing them here at the constituency tallying center that is at Nita. Now, of course, we were up about since 6 in the morning and just giving you a quick glimpse of what happened and how the day unfolded. From 6 in the morning, we were across the county of Mombasa together with my colleagues Ann Muru and Michael Mondiga. True, the voter turnout was a bit low, was compared to the August 9th general elections. And since morning, it was just a matter of mobilization from the candidates to ensure that their supporters come out to decide who their next governor is. Around 10 o'clock, the momentum started picking up. However, it was not as eventful as we would have imagined. At around 3 p.m., most polling stations, of course, witnessed an influx of people, considering most of them who are attending to the small-scale businesses winded up and ran to the polling stations to exercise their democratic right. And right about 5:30 in the evening, most polling stations here in Mombasa County had concluded that exercise and had started counting the votes cast. Now, where I am in Nyali constituency, immediately after the polling station closes, the next exercise is counting the votes cast. After the votes have been cast, of course, electronically, those results are relayed to the constituency and the county returning officer. Then, physically, they are mandated to come to the constituency returning officer to hand over their electoral devices or gadgets and materials, so that they can be able to ascertain that the numbers that they relayed electronically are the same that they have physically. So those are some of the presiding officers who were process at different polling stations. As I have mentioned earlier, in Nyali constituency, there are 195. Over 600,000 registered voters this morning were expected to go. However, we spoke to Swalha Yusuf, who is the county returning officer, at 7 p.m. and assured us that that number, the 42% turnout that was witnessed during the August 9th election, will not be achieved, and they had hoped that maybe the numbers will increase. However, the numbers are not looking very good. So it is a question of how much they have scored, because she was waiting for only 2 constituencies to analyze the voter turnout of Mombasa County, but she says it is not really pleasing, and maybe they have just reached the above a half margin compared to the general election. There's some reason, of course, that contributed to these elections having a low voter turnout. Number one, most voters were depressed, or they had lacked morale following the outcome of the August 9th election. Some of them, their candidates did not make it for the win, and of course the Azimio fraternity did not make it to be elected as the president-elect pronounced by Chebukati. So, and some of them were depressed and could not make it to the polling stations. Number two, these elections have been postponed twice. That led to most voters getting a little bit bored of this electoral process and choosing to stay in their homes instead of going to cast their votes. Number three, there were security fears here and there, but what we can report is during the day there were no major incidences or reports. The normal push and shove, however, no major incidents incidents was reported, we were talking to most candidates. At around 9, Abdul Samad Sharif Nasir, the ODM candidate, cast his vote, and at around 11, Hassan Omar of the UDA ticket cast his vote during that time. And of course, both of them were pointing fingers at each other of voter bribery. As a KBC, we have not been able to ascertain if indeed those allegations are true or not. Until now, no security apparatus has been able to confirm for us. But for us, we understand that the process went without any security hitches, because we understand the security apparatus were on high alert. So no major incident was reported. The voter turnout was a bit low. We are waiting for Swalha Yusuf to give us a conclusive figure as to how many people showed up to cast their votes. And also there were no there was a voter apathy that was real here in Mombasa County. So what is happening? We're waiting for the constituency returning officer to finish receiving the votes from the polling stations. As I mentioned earlier, here it's 195, in Kisaoni over 200, and my colleagues are in other constituency. Once the constituency returning officers has been able to receive those numbers, then he relays them. And the good thing about Nyali, they are projecting them with a projector that is right on my right. From there, then the candidates they can be able to track what is happening, after which they will give us a brief period. We will have to give them a brief period to conclude the tallying process. Then thereafter, they will be heading to Swalha Yusuf desk at the Kenya School of Government in Vita constituency, where Swalha Yusuf will also have to get a moment to do tallying of all the 6 constituency. Then thereafter, we will know the governor, the second governor of Mombasa, who will succeed Hassan Ali Joe. So Tomboya, we're still here. This is the night. I believe we are burning the midnight oil together with my colleagues Anburu and Michael Mandiga. And of course, we are here until we know who the second governor of Mombasa County who will succeed Hassan Ali Joho will be this night. So it is a hastened process, and we are expecting that the returning officer also hastened up the process, so that at midnight we are at the Kenya School of Government to understand if Swalha will be able to by morning, or we will have to wait until dawn for those results to be relayed. So I'm here. There are a host of leaders from the Azimio and Kenya Kwanza fraternity also monitoring these results that are being relayed by the constituency returning officer. Back to you.